So, do you believe in karma? Why, if yes, and why not, if no? Listen again to this gospel our venerable deacon just proclaimed to us. Stop judging, and you will not be judged. Stop condemning, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and gifts will be given to you. For the measure with which you measure will be the measure with which you are measured. My mom would put it in these words: what goes around, Gary, comes around. What goes around, comes around. And God is saying, I do not mete out reward and punishment. You are the ones who are creating your own reward and your own punishment. God sends no one to hell. You send yourself to hell. The way you live will be the way you die. The way you live is creating your own destiny. Do good, reap good. Do evil, reap evil. Again, the measure you measure out will be measured back to you. Selfish people can only receive selfish people in return. If you happen to be noticing that the people around you in your life, that you are surrounded by selfish people, that's probably a good indication that you might be more selfish than you've ever admitted to yourself. Some people create their own storms, and they get bad when it rains on them. So what energy are you putting out there? What energy am I putting out there? Why does it even matter? It matters because I experience something that is really beyond words sometimes, but I see it all the time. I see again and again in my own life even, how the more generous I am with my life, with my material possessions, the more generous people are to me. And it continues to surprise me, and it continues to move me to the core. But I see it again and again. The more kind I am, and that is not my forte, the more kindness seems to be shown to me. The more honest I am, the more invested I am in other people's growth, the more honest people around me seem to be and invest themselves, even with challenges, in my own personal growth. There's some sort of signal it seems we send out, some sort of energy vibrating in this universe out from us. The more vulnerable I am with others, the more human, the more vulnerable people seem to be with me, and the more human they are around me. The more I seek the truth, the more I will attract people who seek the truth and speak the truth. And the more open I am, the more I will be surrounded by open-minded, open-hearted people. There is something to this karma thing. It's almost enchanting, it seems to me. Almost magic, how it can work sometimes. There is something about it, though not everybody. And this is where I find myself disagreeing with the whole notion of karma. No matter how much I give, or am kind, or am honest. Some will not return the inspiration. Some will be mean to me, and they will be closed-minded to me, and they will judge me. Jesus was the best human we could ever imagine, really. His goodness radiated out from him, and it attracted thousands, the scriptures say, to him to hear him teach. But not everybody. Definitely not everybody. When I was in graduate school, I was up for morning prayer. I was in the seminary. And morning prayer was at 6:30 in the morning, which is also not my forte. But it's really weird because I tend to wake up happy. No matter how much sleep I get, no matter what time in the morning, I tend to wake up happy and pretty ready for the day. And so I made my way down the hall. The bathrooms were at the far end of the hall for me, and you know how you wake up in the morning. So I made my way to the bathroom, and as I was standing there doing my business, one of my fellow seminarians, who was also doing his business, was standing next to me. And I was humming something or other. And he turned to leave, and he just said with a sneer, "I hate you." I thought you should know that. I found out later from him that that was because I was so happy in the morning, and he resented it. But you see, where was the karma then, you know? My happiness did not work for him, but it sure did for me, and for so many who became friends along the way. That day, the magic, for him at least, did not work. So no, it's not a quid pro quo world. It's not a mechanical universe where I put $1 and I get 4 quarters back every time. It is still surprising at some level that it comes back to me, to us, when we treat people the way we'd really like to and see something happening around us. But there's always that thing called free will, you know, where they can say no to the magic, no to the karma, no to that energy. They have free will. And I have to remember, I am being kind not to get kindness back to me, but because kind is who God created me to be. It's who I am, really, deep down inside. Generous is who God created me to be. Vulnerable is how God created me to be. Forgiving is how God created me to be. And it is good to act as who I am, and that's reason enough. It is good to act like I am deep down inside, no matter how I feel on a given day. That is why I try to be with others who I am, even if it's not returned. Try. This whole gospel turns on the line, your Father in heaven is kind. Your Father in heaven is kind because that's who God is, kind. And he's kind even to those who do not return kindness to God. And yet I have to say, people are way more likely to be good to us if we are good to them. And they're more likely to smile back at us if we smile at them first. And if they are not good to us, we need to at least ask ourselves if we are putting out that karma, that good karma out there, this great energy, to at least be more, so that they would at least be more likely to be good, even if not to us, in the universe. And tell me, my friends, isn't it true that people who are good to others, especially the stranger, and maybe even the enemy have a good shot at them being at least less likely to remain our enemy, at least. Yes, we still have enemies. It's not that easy, but fewer, I'd say. The evidence suggests fewer, I'd say, and lots of love and some hate. Lots of love and some hate. Love can ripple out into the universe, but it doesn't force its way. You will make lots of good friends by being interested and generous and attentive to others. That's the truth. But not all of them will like you. Bottom line, there is such a thing as karma. And we would do well to take it seriously. But it's not quid pro quo. People can and will still hate us, even for just being happy. But you know, I gotta say, it's still worth a try.